worldview. So my competitor has a different worldview than I did. He has a worldview that says it's okay to vote for Sotomayor and Kagan, the two most progressive liberals in the history of the United States of America, on our Supreme Court. It's okay to vote for them. It's okay to allow hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants cross our borders because my competitor wants to give them amnesty. I say build a wall. Thank you, President Trump. I say build a wall, and I say take and bring the military down. Not only the amount of military you have now, because he based on the National Emergency Act, he brought in military. I would say 4, 5 times that. Bring our military down and seal that wall. And then draw it down as we start to get things under control. We need economic pressure. We need more military pressure. We need a wall that's not only a physical structure, but one that is very sophisticated with the latest technology. And then we got to continue to keep diplomatic pressure on our neighbors. So my form of conservatism is truly about the little platoons in America. It's about making sure that the United States of America stays on the right path, the traditional path, as I talked about earlier, the path that is just common human decency. And I would say, Senator Graham, that your 61% economic rating, and that's a conservative economic rating on how he votes on conservative economic issues and legislation, that 61% needs to be way, way up in the 90s. That overall, in the conservative review, the rating that you're getting, that 31% rating on an overall basis, that needs to be way up in the 90s. You cannot call yourself a conservative Republican if you are not conservative. Let's call it what it is. It's a left-of-center Democrat who calls himself a Republican. Rest assured, when I call myself a Republican, I stand for all of the ideals in the Republican Party platform. I stand for a strong military. I stand for opposing Roe v. Wade. I stand against giving everyone that's illegal amnesty, and we need to start more deportation. I stand for justices that have a traditional view of the Supreme Court of the United States of America. We need to have an Anthony Scalia understanding of our Constitution, not a Sotomayor and Kagan, not an elastic view of the Constitution where they want to fit the Constitution to the culture. The people in America, my competitor included, want to take the culture. There's no stake. There's no stake. He wants to just waffle wherever the political winds will take him. And I'm saying that our conservative, our American distinctiveness, there has to be a stake. We have to stand for something. Because if we do not stand for something, we're no better than the Democratic Socialists. We've got to put our stake hard in the ground and say, this is America, this is conservatism, and this is the basis of morality and true Bible understanding. As you leave tonight, and I thank you, Drew, for announcing all the food in the back. Please come and have some food. But as we leave tonight, I hope that you'll notice that each of the tables out there, there's a whole bunch of flags. And thank you, John, for talking about our military and those veterans who have served. I have a son that served in Afghanistan. He was an officer in the Marine Corps, and I have a deep appreciation for the Corps. But there's a flag out there that also represents first responders. There's a flag out there that represents our police force. My dad was a 40-year policeman. There's a flag out there that represents the firemen with the red stripe through it. And yes, Nike, there is a flag out there that represents Betsy Ross. Betsy, yeah, I mean, come on. So we are proud of the United States of America. We're proud of this flag. We're proud of our veterans. And we want to change the course of history here in South Carolina. I want to redefine what it means to be a senator from the United States of America. And I want to do it not only through a biblical understanding, but when my grandchildren sit around the couch and they look at clips of the old man, the senator, that they'll be proud of what they're hearing. It won't be laced with filth. There will not be any rants of anger. I hope my grandchildren see someone who simply is a public servant desiring to serve the United States of America, because I do not and will never take the label of a politician. Because if we think of the one-word descriptors of what a politician stands for, we know what they are: greed, hunger, power, and that word called re-election. And they will do anything in their power to get re-elected. I am a public servant. It's about servant leadership. It's about meeting the needs of we the people. And it's about term limits. I believe that with all my heart, that our senators in the House of Representatives need term limits.